What is good, y'all? What is good? Welcome to DadBeats. We are on episode 17. Man, I really need to get that down. Shout out to y'all for tuning in today, man. Once again, DadBeats, where we talk about overcoming the challenges of being a producer and a creative with responsibilities. And we got the whole team in here today. Shout out to the brother Lifted Noise back once again. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's good, man? Feels good to be here once again. Always glad to be part of something positive, that could be like the difference for someone out there struggling, trying to navigate life as a parent, not just a dad, mothers out there and all that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
just happy to be here. Let's dig in, see if we can find some gems.
No doubt. And once again, the King OCaesar was good, my brother.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Always happy to be here, man. Glad to be here with the people. You know what I'm saying? We got a great person on tonight. So, we about to get into it and we about to keep this energy up too, man.
All right. And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Knox Squared. What's good, bro? Welcome.
Good. What's good? I'm definitely happy to be here, fam. And just a shout out to everybody. Shout out to you guys. And I'm just excited to be here for real. No doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah. It took us a little while to put it together, man. We, had a lot of, I had family issues going on as, some of you guys who tuned in last week, my father passed away earlier in August, and it just took a couple weeks to kind of get things squared away. But, Knock and I have been talking about doing this really for a couple months, man. I threw it out there for you. A lot of my audience that tunes into my channel are definitely fans of your channel. And, I think the first time I came across your channel was, it was like a countdown you were doing, you were trying to make a beat, I think in like 7 minutes or something like that. You know what I'm talking
7-minute workout.
7 minute workout. Yeah. And I was like, yo, that is dope. And I think I binge watched like 4 or 5 of them, and I was like, yo, this dude be going in, bro.
I love the 7-minute workout, man, because it takes me away from all of that, thinking too much. You know what I mean? I gotta get what I get down, and that's it. That's why I just said I like having fun doing that. So.
Yeah, it was really, really dope format. And, you've been doing YouTube for a while, right? At least what, 6, 7 years?
Nah, actually, my first YouTube video was 2007.
Ooh,
but
okay.
I really, y'all born there? That's
we ain't that young. We got
some gray hairs in here, bro. We got some grays.
I know some people out there 2007, but it's actually my first video I think I had was with the MPC, believe it or not. 2000. It's either that, and then I had the MC 808 from Roland. And so I didn't do them on a regular basis. But when I started, like 2010, 2009 is when I really started to get more on a regular basis on YouTube. So I would say 10, 11, well, maybe 11 years,
Okay. Of just posting regularly.
Yeah, posting regularly.
Can I ask, were you on Maschine by then when you started posting regularly? Or
yeah, that's what actually got me posting regularly. I used to mess with the Roland MV8 8000. And I liked the way that chopped, and then I found out that Maschine did something similar, as far as duplicating the pads and editing start points. So I went out and got that, man, and I did a video, and it was, it got a little bit of response, but then I did this one where I sampled, it was called New York State, and I sampled it, and I was playing it, and it just that one like took off, man. It's just like everybody started watching it, so that's what really propelled me as far as going forward with Maschine, because I had no idea I was going to be doing YouTube video. I just wanted to do them, but once something takes off, it's like, okay, let me see what's going on now. So
yeah, and then you start getting comments and then requests in the comments, and before you know it, you're on like a whole path of creating content and trying to please your audience, what I'm saying?
Right. And that video, I guess I could say that video kind of changed my whole direction, and for really to where I'm doing now. So you never know. You get something, and that's a spark, man, that could just take you in a whole other direction. So
absolutely,
that was mine.
So can I ask, how many videos in was that? Was that pretty early on when you started posting consistently?
Yeah. That was probably
Did you feel?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was probably my I would say that's when the Maschine video, the first Maschine video was probably my 4th or 5th video, if I remember right. But the other ones were early, like years earlier. And so the first one I did when I came back, I did one Maschine, and I was in the kitchen messing with it. And then the second one after that, one after that is when I did the New York State sample, and that's the one that took off. So I don't even know if people really watched the first one unless they go back, you know. But the second one was really the one that shot me off there, you know, to where I'm going forward.
That's
that leads me to, you know, kind of, I mean, just going back. I mean, bro, you've been in the music game for a long time. I had no idea about the Doug Lazy thing, bro, until like when I say Doug Lazy thing, I mean that I guess what do you call it, like like your artist name, right?
Yeah, the artist name.
That was like late 80s, right? Like I was listening to it and I'm like, man, this is like, all right, I'm not that familiar like with house, but it had like very house vibes. And is that what that was considered when you were doing the Doug Lazy?
They call it hip house. I didn't start hip house. There was some people in Chicago like Fast Eddie and Tyree Cooper, different people. You know, people that know house are probably familiar with them. But I really got into it from listening to them. But I came from a hip hop background. A lot of people don't know. My first, I guess you could say, placements or whatever was on. Are you familiar with Steezo?
Yeah,
Steezo. I was on the Crazy Noise album. Rest in peace to Steezo. I had 2 cuts on that album, and that was right before I started doing house music. So when I came into the game, I did a joint called Let It Roll, and I sampled a bell loop from Mantronic's King of the Beats. The bell loop, I'm familiar with it, with Snap, used it with I Got the Power. But I had sampled it before that, and I sped it up, and I put a house beat to it, and then I added a bass line, and I just did some lyrics. I wasn't even a lyricist. I just dropped some 4 verses down, man, and it literally took off. So that was my whole, as far as an artist, you know, everything just seemed, it's just like that. You know, I didn't expect it to do anything because I had actually did Let It Roll, and not even maybe a month and a half later, if I remember right, I was signed to Atlantic Records.
Wow.
And yeah, I was, you know, it was a whirlwind. You know, and this is coming from somebody who barely talked. If people that know me from back then, they like, yo, he ain't never used to say nothing. Like, you know, now they say that, you know, people that know me now, they can't believe it because I talk too much. But, you know, now it's, you know, it was such a whirlwind, man. And I got on Atlantic under Doug Lazy, and then that was a whole other path. And, you know, like 2 years of just like shows and being in the house area. You know, a lot of during the clubs back then, especially most of my shows were in New York. A lot of the clubs back then, they were mixed. You know, it wasn't just like house and not playing anything. It was anything else. It was like a mixture of stuff. So I had some shows with, you know, maybe some hip hop artists might be on the show. So, you know, it was, you know, and with hip house, it was kind of accepted a little bit more than regular, you know, the norm house, you know, or the you know, house that most people know of. So yeah, that's the cover. That's the cover. And you know, it's funny. Why you because do that to me, bro?
Nah, because listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's funny because like this is a time in hip hop, right, where it's like, I guess it was like late 80s, maybe early 90s, right? Like around that time, it used to be able to just have fun with hip hop, right? Like
that was it.
Characters, and I mean, think about this. This reminds me of like, say, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right?
Where that's what like, I was just about to say that. And
you know, the
like,
intro where it's like you moving with your auntie and uncle and Bella. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's very similar vibes. And I remember at this time I was probably like, you know, between like 8 and 10 years old. You know what I mean? And I remember that time in hip hop was very. There was like, you know, it was cool. It was cool to have fun, and everything didn't have to be all thugged out, and you could just be creative and come up with characters. And it was also kind of fused with comedy, right? Where you can really express yourself comedically. And it's just funny because I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm looking at your progression. You know, on your channel, you always kind of infused humor into your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But what you're doing with TikTok now, bro, is like it's really exploding on that platform, man. Can you kind of get into like how, you know, what really made you, and for those who don't know, I mean, at this point, Knock is up to like 600, almost 650,000 followers on TikTok. Can you talk about how, you know, how you started getting that momentum, or you know, what was a little different with TikTok where you feel like it just blasted off?
Well, man, I needed, you know, just being real, I needed an outlet because dealing with social media, man, it was driving me crazy. You know, these algorithm things, and I would post stuff because I used to do like humor stuff on on my Instagram or on my YouTube. Actually, like I would have intro like the character Sexy Beast and Aunt Beast, where she, you know, she got a beard and everything. It was, you know, that got some good attention and stuff. But man, it really, you know, I started getting I don't know, man, the social media, the algorithms, all that stuff, it could drive you crazy. So I just kind of, you know, we were going through the pandemic, of course. And I had always been somebody, I was like, yo, what is TikTok? What is TikTok? You know, when you first hear about it, it's like you think it's for kids and you hear all this thing, you know. So I didn't have nothing else to do. I was in the garage every day. Me and my wife made the garage like our place where we hang out because we didn't go anywhere during the, you know, 2020. Yeah. So I just did I started doing the TikTok videos. I did a couple and they got like trash views. It was like, I'd get like 6 or 7 views and it was ridiculous, you know, but it was like, it wasn't so stressful right then because everybody was kind of like confined to the house. So it's almost like you didn't have to, it's going to sound weird, but you didn't have to be a real, I don't want to say be a go-getter, but it was kind of like we were just like chilling, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was kind of accepted, like, yo, during this time we're gonna fall back a little bit and just chill. So I just kept doing it, man, just to be having fun. And I did one day I did one where I took it from the Denzel Washington from Training Day. When he goes, "Oh, you mother suckers." You know, and I did
with the French fries, right?
With the French fries. I did a skit when McDonald's forgets your fries, and I was mouthing with his vocals, and I matched them up perfect, man. And I put it up, went about my business, came back. I said, "Oh, I got 1,000 views." And you know, I was about to do one of them side kicks, you know, we kick together, but I might have killed myself. I was about to do that, but you know, I'm like, yo, and then I came back again, and I kept checking it. It was like, yo, it was just taking off. It was like 1,000, 10,000. And by that time, yo, so I'm just staying there. I'm refreshing because I'm like, I never experienced something like that, you know, because it was going up. So I mean, it got up to 400,000 views, and then TikTok muted the sound. So by this time I was fired up. Then I'm like, okay, you know, so I did another skit thing, and that got like it was like a dog talking. You know, I got this thing with the animals where I'll be like doing vocals on them.
I think I got like a little clip of it. Let me see if I can.
I
don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah,
you can hear it.
Yeah, you can. No, I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
I can't hear it. But yeah, I was watching a couple of those too.
It's still funny.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like this particular one, the video before this one, like it has the dog driving, and his dog's not really driving. I just edited that way because I got it off a YouTube video. The dog was on the guy's lap, but the way I edited it, you know, he's in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger seat. We always got somebody in the back, and, you know, like he's twerking on beat today. If you can hear the music.
Yeah. No, I just watched this one. Yeah. I just watched it. It was hilarious, man.
And I appreciate it. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just man, just really getting into I was at like 15,000 followers like within like 4 days after that, after the French fry one, and then the second one after that. And it's just been going ever since. And I started going in that lane, you know, when something gets successful or you see it being, you know, a positive direction, I kind of focused on that. So then I got into just making skits, man, and some of them did okay, and some of them did, you know, some of them did better than others. My biggest one I got is like 23 million views, and where I took that video that with the dog, you know, twerking, whatever it's doing. And I had matched it to some music, and I had like other animals like turning, looking, you know. So if that's my biggest one, and that right there, that one is what like really sent me on like my follower growth was just like crazy after that. And it's just I don't know, man. It's been an outlet, and it actually helped me because, you know, I got a humorous side, and it just feels like, you know, when people appreciate what you're doing, it just feels good, you know what I mean? And TikTok and Instagram, as far as for me, they're like two different worlds, two different planets. Like I can post a video on TikTok, and it'll get like, for instance, did one that got 8 million views. One of the Drive Dog series, that same one, one of the ones you just played, it was an earlier version. And then I put it on Instagram, and they get 1,000 views. So it's just like, you know, of course I'm gonna be like, my focus is over here. as far as my joke things, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Well, I see you still. I see you still try to keep it like, you know, you keep it original, but then you also like, you know, in some ways tie it back to your music. Because one of the ones that I liked is the one that you, I think it's a recent one you did with your mom.
Oh yeah,
yeah, where she's like on the that. But then you had the machine out, and you was making the beat. You even had one with the dog and stuff like that too. So you still kind of like tie it back to the music stuff too. So I like that. Like how is that like intentional? Or you still trying to keep it like funky with the music as well? Like, you know, or you just trying to, you know, what?
Bro, that's definitely intentional. What I decided was like, as far as the TikTok, I could do more of a joke thing, because it's funny on the TikTok side, the music, when I combine the music with the different skits, they don't do as well. But on the Instagram side, they do much better. So it's like, I was like, okay, I have a lane where I can still get my, you know, the humor out, but you know, over on Instagram, it's more musical. Like, you know, and like with my mom, with that one, that was a favorite one that I like. She was in there on that machine thing, and that it drives me crazy because it's like, and I was just sitting there, and my wife's like, and I got up, I said, I got an idea. She said, please don't make a beat out of that, because she already know, right? She already know. So of course I went in there. I was recording my mother. You know, we did. You know, the way I edited it looked like I was like, yo, mom, can you pick up the pace? But actually, just, you know, she was just in there. I just recorded her for a couple for like 30 seconds, and then took it in and sped it up and edited, put a beat to it. So it makes it seem like she's, you know, and it keeps cutting back to her.
Yeah.
And,
I'm gonna try to play one. One of the ones you did was super creative too. Was with the dog eating a Dorito.
Oh
yeah. That's
the
one where you was making a beat too, where your dog was like,
and
you
I'm
know,
gonna see if I can run it. Let me see if it'll run.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Let's go.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. I gotta. There's another one. There's another one that I did. It had the drive dog thing. That's one.
That's the one with the Chihuahua.
Yeah, exactly. That one. That's my favorite one. That one got like it's like 4 million views on TikTok. So that was one of the more. That's one of the ones that on TikTok that did well, where I was incorporating the music. You know, sometimes it don't work out, but that it's, you know, it's just sitting here watching that, man. That it's just, you know, I get joy out of just seeing it, man. You know,
it's funny, man. It's entertaining, and I want to ask you, like, are like, what kind of opportunities are coming out of, you know, you just kind of just being yourself and creating content that you enjoy? Obviously, a lot of other people enjoy it. Like, what kind of opportunities are coming out of that? Like, are you able to like monetize on streams, or, you know, are people reaching out on the production side, or like what type of like kind of side effects of that type of exposure have you noticed so far?
Well, yeah, I as far as like people reaching out, like I've gotten I've gotten one I guess brand deal so far, and that was with Ridge Wallets. It's
Rich Wallets,
yeah. So they had contact, you know, they had a bunch of influence or the content creators, and I wanted to do one where I just did one where I'm making a beat with the wallet, and they loved it. So, you know, that was that came out, man. That was a nice payday. You know, it was decent for real, and I mean, just for something that I would do anyway, you know what I mean? And it was fun to do, and just a lot, I guess, bringing you know, people hit me up, you know, and they, you know, ask me about, you know, how do I do this and do that, you know, and, you know, like to get tips and stuff like that. And more of my followers, you know, with more followers, it comes more people directed towards my business, which I do voice tags. I don't know if you know that, you know, I've been doing voice tags for like 10 years. And
you gotta give us like a sample, bro. Like, what does it sound like when you're doing voice tag?
Oh,
We're gonna put you on the spot.
oh, hey, bro. I mean, I done over 20,000 tags, man. I ain't. It's all good. I'd be like, now we're DadBeats, knock squared on the track, or I could be like,
Oh
anything.
yeah, that's
Like
fire.
I could be like, yo, run it, run that back home, and I'll put some effects. I wish I could play a joint now, but on my site, man, I got on Knox House. I got demos. If y'all, you could check it out. But it's just my son, my wife, and me all do tags. So it's like a family thing. My son does more tags than I do. He literally does. He has more orders than I do. And I had to change it because he used to be the kid's voice, but I had to change it from kid voice to teen now because his voice, he's been grown up.
Yeah.
It changed, and I can't. I'm like, yo, clients are like, yo, don't sound like no kid. I'm like,
ain't Jackson 5 Michael no more. You know what I mean?
How you gonna have to go find a neighborhood kid and hire him?
Something. Losing money, but people like the kid tags. But I'm with I don't know if you're a voice tag guys. I'm one of the voice artists on that site, and that's pretty much the biggest site on the planet.
Wow.
So I got mine, and then I work with them also. They done. I mean, between that site, it's like tags on like what's the Old Town Road and all like a lot of hits.
Wow.
A lot of hits have the tag game is crazy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of producers that
that's
like
a sleeper, bro. I know, I kind of pride myself on being up on a lot of different business ventures. That's one of them that I guess I just overlooked it. I mean, I never really realized how many, because I know radio stations, it was really big when radio was huge, right? So it was like every commercial, every commercial had them. But I didn't even think about that, man. I didn't realize the industry was so big still.
It is.
If I can ask, who is your biggest customer? Because I obviously we're talking about producers. Sometimes they got their little beat tags, but is that the majority of your customer, or does it go beyond that?
Well, the majority of the customers are producers that like the online producers and not, and you get those occasional big names like as far as my voice, I've been on more so like the producers and online producers and stuff. And but I've mixed some like one of the biggest ones I mixed was the Panda, the Panda, that song. There's a tag in front of there. I produced that tag with Chelsea Davis. And that's her voice on it, and it's for the producer Menace. And we done joints. I got joints that I producers on Amigos, Kevin Gates. Just it's a lot of different artists, and really it's just it's the producer. Whatever it's like you doing so many online producer tags that some of those online producers, I get a lot of inspiration from hearing just the producers online. I've always like that, even more so than the big names. It's just like I like to just listen to beats and some of those producers get that shot, and of course when they go, they got their tag, so that's promotion for you. I don't make any money, because like Panda went, I guess it went diamond or whatever.
I
don't make no money off it, but I'm sure that I posted that on my site, produced the tag, which
I was going to say that.
You know what I mean?
I was about to ask that.
I was just about to ask too.
So it's like a one-off. It's like a set price. It's not like you're getting a rapper's credit.
Yeah, I even say on my site, once you buy this tag, you could do whatever you want with it. It's yours. You know what I mean? So, just because people get nervous, they don't, am I going, you gonna hit me up with royalties for this tag? And I'm like, nah, you paid for the tag, but best believe, I got emails dating back years just so I know if I hear a tag that sounds like something that I may have produced or voiced. I'll listen to the name. I'll type it in my email and see if I did that because I got the tag saved.
Yeah,
and I know, I did this one. Then I could promote it. You know what I mean? So I could be like, we produced this tag and this tag and this tag. So it's just keeping aware of what's going on.
That's dope. That's
so
really
now now you're like, because you've done so many tags so far, you probably can offer like a pretty good price for, each tag you do too. And if you're doing a lot of them, that seems like it's gonna add up pretty quick. So that's good money in the bank.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, literally voice tags was it's been my main job. It fluctuates. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm balling. You know, sometimes you'll have days where you may not get that many orders, and sometimes it's like you got so many, you gotta sit there and say, okay, I gotta make time to do all these. It had been that it was like I was making full-time money just off of that. And the best part is that, you know, after doing it for so many years, it doesn't take me long to do a tag. I have a system like I record my son and I run it through a channel strip or whatever that I use, and I already know how to edit because I have a radio background. A lot of people don't know that also. You know, I grew up in radio, you know, and it's you know, I was doing from production to being on air, you know, so I realized that, you know, a lot of stuff I could do is in-house. And that's why, you know, I got the family, you know.
That's what's up. Yeah, you got the whole family involved.
Yeah, my wife does it. She hates doing them, you know. She doesn't.
But it seems to be a common theme, Knock, where, you know, a lot of guys, you know, once you get to a certain age, right? Like hip hop, they talk about hip hop likes to push you out the door at a certain age.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to guys, like, you know, it's different as a producer, right? Because we really have built up a lot of technical skills that we might not give ourselves credit for. Like what you're talking about is your radio experience.
Right.
Oh, that's sound design. That's engineering. You know what I'm saying? Like you're mixing it. You like you said, your signal chain. These are all things that, you know, the average person, you know, at a company who just needs, you know, some audio for a presentation or, you know, whatever, they don't know how to do these things. So these are all marketable skills that we've built up over time. And what I love about what you're doing is you're taking the equipment that you already have, that you have fun with. And bro, I promise you, I preach this every time we get on the show, finding a way to take what you have and earn something with it. You know what I'm saying? In your case, you're able to earn a full-time living at, you know, at certain times, and you're like, you know, it's up and down, everything fluctuates, and that's business. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you got to pivot and try different stuff. But I think the important takeaway, you know, one of the takeaways that we try to find some takeaways from each guest we have on, and some inspiration from it. And one of the things I'm taking away is, you know, looking at the skills you have, you know, as far as recording. I'm sure you work with artists and stuff too, you know. It kind of comes with the territory, right? If you're a producer and you're dope and you also were an artist, it just kind of, there's always going to be times where artists come around and, you know, want your help. And I think one of the things that's just very interesting and kind of like laced throughout your story is you've taken skills that you've literally had since the 80s,
right,
and you're still eating off them.
Yeah.
Well, that just shows.
You're right. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that just goes to show that, like, you know, creating different skills and having these different skills and wearing multiple hats is a good thing to have. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about, like, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, but they also they say that quote wrong. It says you rather be a jack of all trades than a master of none. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or a jack of all trades, but
is a master of none. But oftentimes better than one.
Yeah, than a master of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that means you can always, no matter what, you'll always have a lane where you can eat. You'll always be able to eat. You can always pivot. There's always somewhere where you could go. And like, if you already have like the technical skills to start something, like it'll take you no time to learn like the additional things you need to learn because you already have the foundation down, you know?
Yeah. So, I didn't even, that's a great point. I didn't even think about it like that. Cause that's what when I move to like different areas, like I moved to a different state, I've always been able to get into like a radio station based off of skills I developed, you know, editing and different things in the past. And it's just, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Cause
like the skills, you know, the skills we develop, you know, kind of honing our craft in these different things. I mean, they really carry over to a lot. And I think one of the kind of hitting points on this episode that I wanted to get at is the fact that, you know, you've been doing it for a while. I'm 42 and people be calling me old head. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably got at least 5 years on me, Knock.
I got double that, bro. I'm the speed limit left me last year.
But I think that's one of the things that I love most, man, about our community is, you know, it's not one of those things where you don't get pushed out of the door. It's not like with rappers where, and even rappers now, I love the fact that, you know, you got your Jay-Z's, you got Nas having a resurgence of his career. You know, a lot of guys that we came up on are still relevant to this day. And yeah, you know, the 14, 15-year-olds aren't dancing to their music, but it's a different, you know, it's a different crowd. And also on a business level, you know, the skills that we've developed over these years of experience in our lives, they're still very valuable. And sometimes you just have to look at where technology is going and kind of just think about how your skills apply to where technology is going.
Exactly.
And I think it's, you know, it's a really good time to be, you know what I'm saying, an experienced producer and engineer and somebody who's in this audio field, because, you know, all these visual platforms really benefit from quality audio, whether it's the microphones, whether it's, you know, just having, you know, the right mics, having the right voiceovers like you do, and then also just the quality of mixes and stuff like that. As some of these, you know, TikTokers and people who are like really popular on these upcoming social platforms, as they start getting more experienced and more budgets and things like that, they're going to start looking for help to really step up their quality. So, and that seems to be what you did, like with a lot of online producers, as their career starts to level up. They're like, yo, I need an official tag for my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know, a lot of guys in our age group, you know, they hate on type beats, they hate on tags. And what I try to explain is, like, type beats doesn't mean you only make one type of beats. It's literally just a way for people to find your beats. So if you make a beat
for the algorithm,
if you think to yourself like, oh, you know, Rick Ross would sound good on this beat, it's a Rick Ross type beat. If you know, you're just thinking about who would sound good on it, and that's what you call what type of beat it is. It's not that you're just making beats like this other type of producer. It's just really who you can hear on it. And as far as tags are concerned, you know, it's do you use a producer tag, Knock?
I did, but you know, I'm more so but one of the tag I have is my wife, so you know, I use it every now and then, but I don't sell beats online. I don't have a beat store right now, so I got more into you know, actually doing the tags for the producers. So
yeah,
I need to get a store up, you know, but you know, it's so much.
And I think it's juggling, right? Because when you start getting into the visual side, you know, I tell people, like, with what I do, I have the YouTube channel, and it kind of, I don't say it took over my music. I still make music constantly, but I found different ways to use my music. I use it for my stuff, like you're doing. I use it for my wife's real estate videos. You know what I'm saying? Like her you know, kind of circle of real estate associates. Now, you know, some of them come to me for work. I'm able to use those beats for their videos. You know, copyright free stuff that I'm making. So I think, you know, it's really thinking outside the box. Not, if you don't want to sell beats to artists, because a lot of us have kind of like horror stories of working with artists, and we try to stay away from it. There's other ways to take the beats that we're making and the music that we're making and use them as kind of like the bed for some of these music, you know, I mean, some of these visual platforms.
Right.
And that's what I try to tell people too. It's like, you know, and like you're a perfect example of that, Knock, is that, you know, you've taken your craft and you've honed it in, and you know how to do the producer, and you know how to do that. You've done that, right? But you've also been able to, like I said, once again, pivot and like take your craft and use it for other things. You wear many hats, and now you're like even doing like the video production and stuff like that, which is another skill. But I think people get so stuck in and they just put themselves in a box, and they feel like that, like once they're in this box, that they can't step out of it and do other things. There's so many things, like music is something that is like universal for like everything. There's nothing that you watch that doesn't have some type of music or some type of something attached to it. And people don't even look at those things, you know, but there's people over there eating off that, like you eating off tags. Like nobody would even thought, like, yo, my man making a full-time living off of like making, you know, tags, which is super dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like people need to stop boxing themselves in and putting themselves in this boxes. Hey, I'm just a producer that makes beats for only artists, or I'm trying to get placements for Jay-Z, or I'm just, you know, there's all type of stuff in movies, like you know, commercials, you know, like you doing sound tags, you know, you know, like even like convenience stores, like people like need music. There's so much stuff that you can do like
Yeah.
to make money.
It's a
from
huge
from music
industry.
videos.
I am. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just saying.
No, I had speaking of this, it's crazy you said that because have you ever heard, is it Sound Reef? Sound Reef, it's actually a site. I sent beats in and they play your beats over in convenience stores and department stores like in Italy
Yeah.
and different things
There you
like
go.
that. And I'm like, that, you know, like, is it 6 months? A little check come in. I'm like, all right, you know, and you know, but I turned in some beats that I you know wasn't using that much, but they were like kind of in song form, and you could look and see how many plays it's gotten in different regions. And I just thought that was cool. It's just like you're saying, like Caesar said, it's a whole world out there. You wouldn't even know that, you know, people are eating off of just something as simple like something might play in the background for like 5 seconds, and you're not even thinking about that. But that person that made that is like, yo, I'm waiting on this check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this on the business side. Oh, my bad, Rob. Were you saying something?
No, I was just saying that's crazy. I never heard of anything like that, and it just
Yep.
Yeah, it makes me like ask the question, like, what is that like an alternative for, you know, these establishments that don't want to pay like the blanket license to like, you know, for like major label music releases?
I think it sounds because I know that if you submit that music, it can't be under, I guess, the publishing, the ASCAP or BMI, whatever music you put in that, you know. So it's got to be something where they're just trying to, you know, cut out, you know, all the
middlemen. Yeah.
And I ain't got no problem with it because it's just like, yo, it's crazy, you know, that, you know, somebody might be shopping in the store, like I said, across the other side of the world, and a, you know, a song that's playing, it's cool, you know. It's just, it lets you know, man, there's so many possibilities.
And I think some people get caught up in not wanting to be exclusive. They're like, oh, you know, I'm not going to submit something if I can't have my publishing on it. You know, at the end of the day, you think about how many beats, you know, a lot of us have in our hard drive. Right. You know, what's to keep you from putting 20 on this website and 20 on this website and, you know, 20 here and shop 20. Bro, a lot of us can do that. Yeah, that's it's really, you know, it's kind of like it's like roulette, right? You just you got all these beats, you can put it on different numbers and you got a better chance of hitting.
Exactly. That's it in a nutshell, you know.
And you know, go ahead, bro. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, they scared to do that. They scared, you know, but meanwhile, like, you know, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, anybody that's listening to this, that, you know, hear what I'm saying, it's BS, man, because we got these beats that's just sitting on these hard drives and they ain't doing nothing for us.
They can't. Hey, you can't do nothing if nobody hears it. You know what I mean?
Facts, man.
It's just, I had to learn that too. I ain't gonna sit here. You know, I fell into the, it was wild. Not even that long. Well, a few years ago, I was, you know, I want to put this and this up there. And after that, I was like, man, you know, what I said, it was anything that I put out or anything I, you know, might put on the site, I can always do something better. You know what I mean? It's never like that's the best beat I ever did is gone now and I'm dead producer. I said to myself, yo, I could do something better, you know? So it's always, you know,
I'm gonna hang on to this for my platinum album.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't Kanye, man.
Right? Hey, this is not the hang it. These days and age, man, this is not the hang on to it time. You know what I mean? It's like, you know,
it's like this, this the era of let it go and let it grow wings. See what it does in the world. A lot of people are kind of afraid that people are gonna steal their work. And what I try to impress on them is like, in the digital age, you really can't steal much. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you put something out on Instagram and you know, say you just posted yourself making the beat, and then, you know, you put that out and then somebody takes it and use it for a platinum hit, that's an open and shut case.
Yeah,
you got it here on you got it here, you made it on video.
Yep.
And so-and-so used it and sold so-and-so a million records. Yeah, you might not get every dollar that they made, but you're gonna settle and you're gonna get a nice little check.
Well, I would like to go against that because there has been cases where people have done that, and like, you know, I don't know if you noticed, like Drake went through like a huge thing. One of like his songs that I really liked, I forgot what the name of the song, but it was off of the CD that had like the building in the back from Toronto. It was like a white building.
Views from the 6.
Yeah, Views from the 6. It was on that, and it was off for a long time because he was going through a legal battle. That beat that he had was not a beat that he owned. Somebody had.
But here, this is what I'm saying. Oh, like you're not saying, you're not arguing against it. You're arguing for it.
Yeah, I'm arguing for it.
Yeah, if somebody tries to take your stuff,
that
it's
guy
not hard to get somebody embroiled in the legal battle. And I'm not saying
got paid. He got
paid, absolutely. You know and I think that's the point I'm trying to make is just, you know, in the digital era, it's kind of a mindset shift where, you know, maybe 20 years ago, you were thinking like, yo, I want every dollar I get from my publishing, which never happened in the industry anyway. You know what I'm saying? There's guys who've been trying to collect royalties for decades. But in this era, it's just it's harder to get robbed. It might be easier for somebody to take your stuff, but it's harder for them to get away from it because there's always a digital record of what they did and of what you did. Right. So, you know, I'm just encouraging people to try to let go of that fear of letting your music out there that somebody's going to take it, because the way social media is set up now is it's kind of a record. Just like, you know, if you was on OnlyFans, them videos is out there forever. Your grandkids are gonna be looking. It's the same thing with your beats. If you put that beat, if you made a Facebook post with your beat, making it, that's a record. You know what I'm saying? That's enforceable in court. And if you have a business, you're able to show. The biggest thing with intellectual property, I'm trying not to take over the whole thing and make it all business, but the biggest thing about intellectual property, whether it's a trademark or a copyright, whatever type of intellectual property you have, the biggest thing is they call it use in commerce. If you can show that you've used something to generate business, whether it's a social media post or you made a website and it has your logo and whatever, if you can prove that you tried to use it for business, that's proof that you own it, that you started, you used it first, basically. So I say all that to say, you guys out there who are kind of like scared to put stuff out in the world, you see a lot of our guests that come on are doing similar things in the sense of, they're just letting go of the fear and they're making content with it, and they're trying different things. And, you don't put all your eggs into one basket. You know what I'm saying? You try different things, and some things will hit and some things won't. But the really beautiful thing, like you said, Knock, about creativity is none of these things are going to be our greatest hit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what your greatest hit is going to be until the people tell you, really.
So let me ask a big question with everything that was just said. Anyone's opinion here. Do you feel like the, registering your copyrights is even as necessary as it was before, now that we have so much documented proof? Because if you understand a little bit about copyrights, the way it's described is you have a copyright the moment of creation, right? And then when you register it, you're actually just registering what you already have as additional proof, like in court. So y'all feel like it's kind of a little dated and less necessary now?
I think so. I mean, a lot of stuff definitely, in the court is in the court, and obviously stuff like that is considered more official.
Yeah, that's what I heard from people like in the industry. They say, like, if you do have copyright, it's better because when you go to court, it just like basically gives you like a 99% chance of like them just ruling in your favor. But like with the digital footprint and stuff that people have now, it's not really necessary. There's a lot of people who don't like, they still do it because it's the professional thing to do, but they don't like, it's not something that they go out their way to do. It's not. Yeah,
it's like if you have the budget for it, it's good. Yeah. It's good to take care of. If you got the budget to do something, like make sure you're registering everything, that that's cool. Some people don't. Some people are still kind of getting it out the mud, basically. And with that, when you're in that position where you're just trying to start generating some revenue, you're not really signing big contracts when you're putting this stuff out there. You might have your little terms of service with the different platforms and stuff. But for the most part, I mean, you still own your stuff. You're not signing it away. You're not signing your masters away to some label or something. It's a totally different situation. So I would say it is dated, Raul, like, in a lot of ways. Yeah. I don't think it's going to go away. I just think that it's more of a big business play at this point. And I'm not encouraging people not to copyright their stuff. I'm just saying, as far as getting money, it's not really that necessary.
And you shouldn't wait to put your stuff out before, like, you put your stuff out before you can still copyright that stuff later. Like, how you feel about that, Knock? You've been in the industry for you know, for a long time. Like, is that something that you like really put an emphasis on as far as, like, you know, with your music and the things that you do?
Trying to protect it.
Copyright? No, I don't even copyright stuff. I just, you know, because I like what you just said rang a bell with me, because I don't need any kind of fence up to get to stop me from putting something out. Because if I say, oh, I got to copyright it, then it'll never come out, because it's just another excuse for me not to put it out. I'm still battling. It's still not easy to put stuff. I'm not trying to let y'all feel like I think that it's easy for me to just throw stuff out. I still sometimes you still, you know, but it's that would just be, I got to get rid of all the roadblocks. You know what I mean? And so I don't, like I said, I posted, and, you know, I'm like, you know, Sai was saying, it's like it got that digital footprint, and hopefully that will work. But I haven't copywritten. I don't even remember when I did. So I can't remember, you know.
They say fortune favors the bold or the brave. You know what I'm saying? If you sometimes you just gotta be brave and put it out.
Another bonus and incentive for, you know, producers to do videos, you know, not aside from just marketing yourself, you know, you have that extra added digital footprint. Yeah. That'll just, you know, benefit you in the long run if something does come up in court, you know.
Absolutely. And real quick, go ahead if you want to say something.
No, yeah, I just want to say, you know, kind of based on playing off of what you said earlier, you know, kind of use the equipment that you have. One thing when people ask me, you know, how do you do this edits and stuff like that? I just always, whenever I'm talking to anybody, I always say, yo, learn your equipment. Like, I have one software that I use to edit the videos. It ain't nothing special. It's $99. I bought it years ago, and I use Maschine because I know Maschine like the back of my hand. And so it got to the point where now what I'm thinking of in my head, like with these TikTok skits, I think of them in my head before I put them down. And that's why I'm able to get get it exactly the way I see it in my head, because I know my equipment and I know what I can do with it. You know what I mean? And it's just like it actually got me out of being into, you know, a gear junkie, you know, because I'm like, yo, I know this piece of equipment right here. I know this software. You know, I can do the voice work. I could do the you know, whatever it needs to be narrated, or I could do all that. So I got everything right here. So I know this like the back of my hand. So I would just encourage people, what you got, you know, learn it, and then you'll be able to, because we all, as creators, we all got it up here. It's like, you know, we got a masterpiece up here. And, you know, if you can just be able to get that out, that, you know, the world will open up for real, you know. And that's what happened with me, just with, you know, I would say learning. I always bring up Maschine because, you know, that's what I use. But I know, even with the 7-minute sample workouts, it's like, you know, it could be trash or whatever at the end, but it's so I know that I will be able to get that sample chop, period, because I know it like the back of my hand. It might not be super dope, but it's never going to be at where I just like, oh, I failed, you know. You know.
So master the tools, basically, like make sure, you know, and you're saying something that I really resonate with, which is like, I don't really deviate from what I use too much. I'll try a couple new things, but every time you add a new piece of gear to your setup, you're slowing yourself down because you have to learn something new. Exactly. And even though it's cool to kind of experiment and try different stuff, you know, at the core, if you're trying to run a business, or if you're even just trying to like not get in your own way, because that seems to be something that you're really good at, is avoiding the roadblocks, as you call them, like getting out of your own way, trying to give yourself as few excuses as possible to not put something out. I think that's really important. What I wanted to do real quick is just the audience, man. I knew they was going to chime in, man. Yeah, they've been going nuts, and I apologize to the audience for not getting to the chat, man. Before you go, Knock, I just wanted to kind of go through some of the comments, man.
Oh, okay.
Linda's son, shout out to the homie Linda's son out of Philly. He said, Steezo was my John. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Steezo was definitely a big thing. And I remember and I think Linda's son said, I think he said, you what, 52? Linda's son? I think he said that later in the
he said chat. He said it was 50 something.
Yeah. So
And
shout out.
said he proud of it too.
Yeah, like you
When
know,
you say when you put the something on it, that means you below 55. When you just say in your 50s, that means you past 55. So
yo, it gets political. You know what I'm saying? After the 40s, you be like, oh, I'm in my mid 40s. I'm in my early 40s. Shout out to Masada MPC. Said Doug Lazy in the place.
Masada, what's up, man? What's
Yeah,
good?
Respect, loving this.
Masada said he got a sound bite from you too. He said very official and
Oh, no doubt. I've been doing
quality.
That's the homie right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. And I apologize to the chat, man, if I can't get to all of y'all, man, because we got into this conversation fast and furious. You know what I'm saying? So let me see who else we got in here.
We only got so much time with Mr. Knock today. You know, he's got
we all family, man. It's a holiday weekend in the US. You know what I'm saying? We out here we doing family work. I just got done hanging the TV, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
I love
fire
it.
the grill.
I'm relaxed up in this piece. I like that. So we all dance. Y'all understand, you know. I came here, they ain't seen when I came. I was sweating. I was like, I just pulled the TV out to the garage. Crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's definitely one of those weekends where it's like you just running around trying to keep up.
Yeah.
I think MPTY Beat said I was on the OG forum with St. Joe and Knock such a legend. Oh yeah, St. Joe, he's another one, man. We might have to try to get him on here, bro. He's long time.
Machine Tutorials, machinetutorials.com.
Machine Tutorial, that was his website?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. It's dope.
So now so the machine is like your only gear that you use, like, you know, like what's your chain, your audio chain?
I see him on the MPC One.
Yeah. I got the MPC One, and I actually with the new instruments, I did download the demo of them, and I did a video, man, and actually made a single. I put it on the Spotify. So I love the sound. It's like two different worlds of me, but I like both of them. I'm just more familiar with Machine, and I usually just mix everything in Machine. And like when I'll make a 2-track, like I like to do on the fly, like, you know, mutes and stuff, and I'll just record that as a sample, and that'll be maybe go for like 3 minutes, and that'll be, you know, if it's good enough, I'll just edit that, and, you know, I could, you know, let people hear it or whatever. So I used to send stuff to Studio One, you know, edit, get the different stems, but I don't do that as much anymore. So if I had to say I use a DAW, I use Studio One a lot. FL Studio I use for the tags. So I don't use that for music because I'm on that for a couple hours every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it would just
that's
burn
like your work program. It feels like work.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I even try to go back and, you know, because the FL Studio is constantly, you know, evolving, man. If you already know anything about that, it's got so much stuff to it. But I'm still working on the joint FL11 doing the tags because I know it so well, and I don't want to visually change because the visual can be a positive or negative. You know,
I need
to change. It's gonna pump me up, and not necessarily. You know what I mean? Because now I gotta. Okay, what do I? You know, so.
Well, we was just talking about that because, you know, I think we do it. We always upgrade to the new versions, like us as, like, you know, YouTubers, because we're trying to review the new features and stuff like that.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, like, if you have a system, like, because you can go into other like studios. I done been in studios where they're still running like Pro Tools LE and stuff because they know it like the back of their hand, and they got like all the equipment that works perfectly with it. You know, as soon as you go changing like your operating systems and stuff like that and upgrading all the time, sometimes you can lose like functionality. So you know, you only make major changes like with stuff like that if it's something that's going to be really beneficial to your workflow. You know.
So Knock, real quick, I didn't want to change the subject too much, but going back to the house thing, right? Like I know that was it's like it's having a resurgence now. Like how do you feel about that? Because I'm a little ignorant about like house music and really the culture. Like I said, late 80s, early 90s, I was young. I remember, like, you know what I'm saying, some of the breakbeats, like the bell joint, like I was super familiar. And like I remember CNC Music Factory had the knockoff of the one John you was talking about, like
Yeah.
But I remember that break was like super popular. What really, let me ask you this. What really makes a house beat, in your opinion?
Oh man, that's a good question. It's more of a vibe. Of course, you got that for the
Yeah, the
you know,
kick. I was gonna
the
say
kick,
that kick.
That open hat.
yeah, and if I had to say, but see, a lot of people like I'll switch it up. I won't put the open hat there sometimes. But I'll have that.
That driving.
And then instead of the open hat, I might have a rim shot. You know, and it's just whatever. It's all a vibe, man, and that's why it's just like it's easy for me to do to make a house beat because it's been in me this whole for years, and I just vibe. I immediately go and I have no like idea what I'm doing. I just let it flow and let it do my thing. So it's to me that the answer would be just it's a vibe, an up tempo vibe. That you
and when you say a vibe, it's kind of like you can envision how it's going to make someone move, right? Like the type of bop they're going to have.
You see what they be up in there like that. You know what I'm saying? I
gotta get that on the big screen.
I'm just saying, bro. And I promise you, I dare you to go into a club and stand next to a speaker while that kick is going through.
Yeah, that's your chest on your heart rhythm.
Kick you in the like you got kicked in the throat.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you could do a beat and you can adjust, you can not have the right swing on it and it won't groove, and you could literally just put a little swing on it and that'll be like, all right, that's it. Yeah, and people might not even realize like what you did, but it's like it's a feeling. That's why one of the phrases, "House is a feeling." So that's
I'm learning, man. I'm learning, bro. I'm like super hip hop '90s East Coast dude, and I'm trying to get a feel for this house movement because it's like the Beyonce record, the Drake record, like it's definitely like a resurgence, and I think it's really dope, man. Like it's definitely it's a different vibe like in my house because my wife is playing the Beyonce record. I'm like, okay,
you didn't hear me?
I'm like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
You didn't hear me, my son? Like now my son walking around. You want to break my son?
Bro, I came on in Walmart yesterday. I was in tears. I said, what?
It's catchy. And it's good. A lot of people might disagree. Some, a lot of the older house heads, some people have problems with it, saying, oh, this something we done already, But I think it's bringing more eyes and ears to the house culture, in my opinion, because a lot of people, you're saying you don't really, know house that well, but that song. So automatically that's one person that, it is got to their ears.
Yeah.
That's happened probably for millions of people, you know what I mean?
And you're going to go look for the originators of that or the leaders of that style, right? Because it's like if somebody like Drake or Beyonce is doing it, it was influenced by the original, just like with the Afrobeat thing last year, you know what I'm saying? You knew it was influenced by another culture who was really really just crushing it, you know what I'm saying? And so now you're absolutely right, man. It's definitely bringing more attention to it. And I'm almost embarrassed that I don't have more, you know what I'm saying? Like more knowledge about the movement of house music. You know what I mean? Like
it ain't never too late to learn.
I be listening. I listen.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. If you, East Coast '90s. But
it was there because I remember like CeCe Peniston. I remember
exactly.
What's the one? Follow me.
That's CeCe Peniston.
Follow me. Yeah, I remember.
That's Elias. I think it's Follow Me.
Yeah, I remember certain records that really stuck out. You know what I'm saying in my childhood. That was like, okay, that's what that was like. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't put my face. It was like my homeboy's older sisters was listening to it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it at that time. But
now you were young, so you like I said, it's when it was really like, especially hip hop, when it was hitting, you probably wouldn't have even remembered it anyway. So what I mean?
Well, all music is influenced by all music, man. Yeah. Like you like Nicki just got a track that has like a sample in it from like, is it old like I don't know if it's Rick James or whatever, like they,
what is it? Yeah,
you know,
it's
what I'm talking about, though,
yeah, I
right?
know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like we
It's a
always go
snippet
back
that he
and we go back and we look at the music before
Yeah.
we, and you guys did that back in the earlier days. I listened to some of the older music and it has like, you know, older tones from like, you know, like the Jacksons, the
Yeah.
Beatles, you know what I'm saying? Like all different type of music that happened from like even before you guys. So it's like it's like not recycled. It's just kind of like it's like shedding a light and like touching on what was before and like making something new from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think that's amazing, man. And I think it's great because that not only does it put a new spin on what is new and what we're doing today, but it's also like, you know what I'm saying, paying homage and showing like, you know, what was before and like showing that that stuff is still relevant to certain people, because, you know, when certain people hear those samples, they be like, ah, bro, like I that was one of my joints back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
And it's great because because like you say, you can look, you hear something and you want to investigate. It's so easy to find out with being online, so easy to find out where it originally came from. You know what I mean? If you just look, you know, far enough, and in that searching, you might find yourself loving a whole other culture, and you know, damn, they was kicking it back then. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's
That's
definitely
dope. Well, look, Knock, I know you got a lot to do today, man. I told you we wouldn't hold you too much. It's already been an hour and change.
I loved it.
I mean, I just wanted to make sure, you know, we covered, you know, kind of the stuff you're working on. Obviously, you know, we were talking about the TikTok and you're getting a ton of momentum there. As far as like your businesses, or if somebody wants to support you and your channel, what are the type of things that they can do, you know, if they want to check into you more or support?
You could check if you need like voice work, like voice tags, of course, knoxhouse.com and voicetagguys.com. I had this idea, you know, it's one of those things. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but since I got so much momentum going on TikTok, I actually bought the domain tiktokskits.com, and it's a course. Like right now, you can go there and sign your email up. It of course will be opening up. What I'll basically be doing is showing how I make these skits, and even from like, yo, I think I'm gonna do this today, and you could actually watch me, or you know, through the course. Is not live, but through the course, watch how I do certain things, and I'll have my like the favorites of whatever, you know, like the Drive Dog series, and what I'm trying to have to do is to actually, you know, maybe have produce the actual skit, and the people that are joining the course can see it live before it goes up. You know what I mean? Just different things like that. And lastly,
that's gonna be a valuable skill, bro.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, because I was surprised that tiktokskits.com was available. I saw that, I was just typing in. I said, "Oh, let me buy that." So you know, I said, and I bought that like months ago, but you know, that's just something I'm gonna try, because you know, I have a course already. The one main ones I wanted to say was machineworld.com, and I have a good amount of members in that, and you know, just trying to grow with that. I haven't been able to really put as much content on there recently, because you know, as Tony said, I've just left out a situation, you know, when my mom was ill and everything. We were there, and you know, now we're in our own spot, and you know, I'm still getting everything together, but I'm actually gonna have more content going up on that. Some people that probably in the chat probably members, you know, so possibly. So it's that's going to be growing, and so that will be my main one, machineworld.com. And you know, if you're in the machine, you know, check it out and go for it.
What I love, man, what I picked up from this conversation, Knock, is, bro, you're such a like laid back entrepreneur, right? Like I know when I'm talking about my business stuff, I'm like, yo, I'm about to do this and I'm about to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm always like so technical with my entrepreneurship, and what I love about your style, bro, is you're just so laid back. Like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna give this a shot. It might not work, but you know, and you know, I think maybe sometimes the way that I'm so business, it might put people off who are more creative oriented. And I love that your style is just very much, yo, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I do this kind of stuff, I do this kind of stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna give this a shot. I think that approach is probably more realistic for most of our audience who, you know, they might not be super hardcore businessmen. They just like to make some cool stuff that they vibe out to. And I think you're just really living proof that you can do that at your own pace and really have a lot of success. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a beautiful thing, man. So I just want to salute you for that.
Old, don't even matter how old you is too, because people be looking at the grades and they be getting it twisted.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, boy. We still out here getting
still
that
getting
bag.
to that bag, man. But it's just very chill. You know what I'm saying?
I had the super beard not long ago. I'm finna remember that. That joint is out the hair. But,
No, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I just, hey man, it's just I love to just try new ideas, man. So that's where I'm at now. And I, you know, like I said, it's the best time to do it. I mean, I could literally sit here, y'all could sit there, and from where we're sitting, we could go get out to the world. You know what I mean? And it's just have to take that step. You know,
absolutely, man.
Are you Uncle Knock everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for the people?
It's at Knock Squared. It's usually like I just have the Uncle Knock name, but it's at Knock Squared is usually my where I'm at everywhere. KNOCK squared SQUARED. You know,
okay, yeah. I just want to make sure
people
I
type
just want to know.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, for the people who don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody in here like pretty much knows, you know. But you know, anybody seeing this don't know, there you go.
There you go. And if you don't know, now you know.
Absolutely, bro. So yeah, man, we'll wrap it up on that, man. I know we all got a lot to do on this holiday weekend.
Appreciate
and anything Raul and OCaesar, anything you guys want to add before we jump out of here?
Well, you guys
No,
know,
not really, man. I appreciate it. It was nice meeting you, nice talking to you, Knock.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. God bless.
God bless
you.
You.
What you're doing.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep, I just wanted to say, you know, it's great to meet you too as well. Not, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of information, a lot of inspiration from the stuff that you said, man. You know, and I'm glad that you here, bro.
Bro. Hey, I'm glad to be here. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've been waiting to get on here.
And yeah, man, you're a friend of the show now, Knox. So don't be surprised, you know what I'm saying? Season 3, we give you that call like, hey man, you want to drop? Because I know the TikTok's gonna keep booming, you know what I mean? The YouTube channel's gonna keep booming. And nah, man, we really just appreciate the knowledge you dropped on us today and the audience, man. And thanks for coming on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope this is the start of a long-term relationship, bro. You're just a really solid dude, and you know the community just appreciates everything you do.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're gonna sign off on that note. Shout out to everybody that tuned in today. Sorry if we didn't get to y'all in the chat, but we do appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.